So we're going back to the new stretch. I don't mind if you did the class the other day. I'm doing this new stretching technique. It's a very weird looking thing, but it's fantastic, and I'm gonna patent it. Not that you can patent it, but I'm gonna patent it and give it a name of series anyway. And it's about how to relax your arms, how to relax the body, without actually using muscles to move your arms. I'm going to use my shoulder along my elbow to move my wrist, and so my wrist can just relax. So I'm trying to relax the item that I'm stretching and use some other part of my body to move it. And so we'll start with the wrist because it's an easy one to work with. So I'm moving my elbow backwards and forwards. This makes my wrist fly. And we'll do this as warm-ups today for something slightly different. I've been doing this for the last week or so. I just discovered this, and I would imagine other people already do this, go side to side. People already do this, but it's my discovery of how it looks and what I've discovered. And do circles, and I'm doing this with my elbows, so my wrist's completely relaxed, and I'm using another part of my body to move my hands. Yep, go the other way. But the funny part is that some of these exercises, my body doesn't know how to do it, so I'm actually having to train myself to know how to let go one part and move it by another. But I'm going to keep persisting with this, because what happens afterwards, your body feels so relaxed. It's bizarre. It's very cool. There you go. So that's the wrist, and you feel what happens. You feel your hands. You see how red your hands have got from all the circulation. You have a look how pink your hands have got just from letting go, and that makes the circulation happen. So now we want to move our elbows. So I'm using my elbows, but I'm using my shoulders to do that. My shoulders are going backwards and forwards to move my elbows. Of course, the hands are still relaxed as well, so now they're the elbows and the hands relaxed. Very good. Good. We can do circles with our elbows. No, as I say, I'm using my shoulders so I can relax my elbows completely. And go the other way. We're going to do the shakings today. That's what I said we're going to do. We're going to spend some time doing another part of such as a very famous Qigong exercise where you shake the body. And there's quite a few different systems use this shaking technique, and we're going to do that too. Good. That's the elbows, shoulders. Now to move my shoulders, I'm going to move my elbows backwards and forwards. Now I'm thinking of my elbows going forward and backwards. Or I think of my hands moving backwards and forwards. So my elbows are drawing so I can relax my shoulders. So I'm not moving my shoulders, I'm moving my arms. And so it takes your mind in a different place, and then it takes the pressure off your shoulders. Now, if we move our shoulders with our hips, use our hips, if we move our hip, now we can move our shoulder from side to side as well. Yep. Now, if we move our hips, we can make circles with our arm, make circles. There you go. And that's coming from my hips are doing this time. Other side. Good, circles. I've got to think about how to do this one. There we go. Circle. So I'm circling with my hip, my arm just following that. As I say, some of these exercises are easier than others. It all depends on whether I do exercises that I've learned how to do pathways of this. You go the other way. You see, that way's way easier than the other side. That's easier than going the other opposite direction. This is just for your shoulders. Now if we go both together, we just move our hips and just let our shoulders relax. So this is coming from the hips. This is not the funny one, no, mine, and there's a couple of funny ones. And this is the next one, it's to do with your neck. Of course, we can spend a lot more time doing this, but because we have a shorter class, I'm not going to spend too much time. Now, if you feel your arms, now you feel what your arms feel like, and your wrist and your elbows, and how free they feel. It's such a fantastic thing. And so we're not putting any pressure on the joints, we're just using the relaxation of the joints and activating the chi and the blood moving through the joints just by relaxation, but by moving it by a different part of your body. So now we're going to do our neck. So this is a tricky one. So what I say before we do this is the neck, if you do that with your wrist, it doesn't actually hurt. Even if you do it fast, it doesn't hurt, because there's a certain place where your wrist goes and the ligaments and tendons are locked up. And so it like bounces off the resistance and it goes a certain place. But if you do it with your hand and move back, you can put a lot of pressure on your wrist and you can feel all the tension and pulling. But when you do it like that, you don't feel any of that. Well, the neck's the same thing. So if I'm going to go, I'm going to use my hips, I want to go forward and backwards to move my neck. And just let my neck flop forward and backwards. the resistance inside your neck, ligaments, tendons, won't let you hurt yourself, because you're not doing it very fast and you're not doing it very viciously, not like a whiplash where you get hit really hard. We're just doing it slowly. But it feels really weird. Good. Move your hips from side to side, move your head from side to side. They look funny. When I look at myself doing them, it looks really weird, but I'm okay for weird. Side to side. Good thing I'll turn my head around. And I'm using my hips and I'm going from side to side. It's my neck I'm letting go. Let go your neck. And your neck's just sort of following what's happening with your head. There you go. And then we do the circles. Now the circles is a weird looking thing. So you're going to move your whole torso and just let your head flop. Back the other way. It's really good. And stop the exercise feeling, but you just move your neck around and feel how free your neck feels. Move it backwards and forwards and see how my neck's moving now. There's no resistance and no clicking. There's no grinding going on. Bizarre how good that feels. And that's by relaxing the neck. Very cool. Now the next one I'm going to do is the spine. Now the spine's a bit more tricky. You can actually feel this, but it takes a little practice. So you're going to move your hips again, and my focus is on relaxing my spine. Yeah, so I'm going to move from side to side, and I'm going to think of my spine and relax my spine. Let's move backwards and forwards. Yep, there you go. Of course, at this stage your arms are just hanging free anyway, so they're already relaxed anyway. And your neck's relaxed, so the neck just moves by itself too. And you think of your spine. Good. Now hips again, hips moving the spine. We're going to go side and side. Let your spine flop from side to side. Relax your spine, relax your spine. You see it goes over. As the spine goes over, the bottom goes in the middle bit, and then the head goes flop. And the spine goes over, the middle of the spine, then the head goes flop. And you can actually feel that happening as the vertebrae just go from one side. If you've got a skeleton, like a proper skeleton, is holding it, it's like going flop from side to side with the skeleton up here, and you're going from one side going flop, 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 and that's what it feels like. Just relax the spine. Good. Now we did this with the head before. Now we're going to think of the spine. So we're moving our hips, but we're thinking of our spine going forward and backwards. Very good. Good. So next one we're going to do our hips. Now there's one funny one, but we won't do that first, but we'll do the knees. So you're going to do with your knees, and you're going to move your knees in circles, and you're going to let your hips relax. So you're moving your hips by your knees. So you're doing circles with your knees. Yep, that's it. Good. And then go the other way. Just let the hips relax. Good. Go side to side for your knees, and just let your hips relax. Now, since I've started doing it, this is about the 5th time I've done these exercises. It's getting easier and easier, so stick with it. Now, some of them, as I say before, that was pretty difficult to know how the body to let go, but I've been practicing now, so the body's learning what this feels like. And I can actually feel the hips going flop, flop, flop inside my body just by moving my knees. Yep, good. Knees, circle, we did the circle, go the other way. Now we can also do your ankles. So you can go from your ankles and move your body from side to side with your ankles. Your hips from side to side with the ankles. Hips side to side, knees going forward and backwards. Relax your hips. It's a crazy feeling. Good. And then circle with your knees like we did. Circle the other way. Good. Good. So now we're going to relax our knees. So then we go back to our hips and we move our hips to relax our knees. And now we're thinking of moving our hips side and side and let the knees relax. Yeah, there you go. So all we're doing is changing the focus and wherever my focus is. Now it's starting to rain. Do you need an umbrella, Josephine? It's not raining, it's just spinning, so hopefully that's all we're going to get. If the class not very long ago, do that. Move your hips back and forwards. So we were doing the same movement before, but now our focus is in a different place. My focus is on my hips moving and relaxing my knees. And it feels totally different, even though it looks exactly the same from the outside. Well, it probably doesn't look exactly the same. But I'm moving my hips back and forwards to relax my knees. Good. We do the one-legged one. We stand up, knees again, but this time we use my hip again. And this is just let the knee relax. And so the foot's flopping backwards and forward. Now you can do circles with it. It's a bit more tricky. Circles with your hips to move your knee. Now if you're necessary, you can hold on to a chair to do this. Good. Other side. Make sure I'm standing on a flat toe. Yeah. Move my hips to move my knee. Good. Circles. This is definitely easier than the other side. And back the other way. Good. Ankles. Just let the ankle flop. Move your knee to move your ankle. Do circles with your knee for your ankle. Just let your ankle flop. The other way. The knee with the ankle. And circles. It's good practice standing on one leg as well. The other way. Oops. Good. Now that's the whole thing. Now you feel what the arms and your body, and you move your body and you move your arms, how relaxed that feels. You move your legs and feel what they feel like. Isn't that great, eh? With the knees you can go side and side that way too, by the way. Just moving your hips. And the other one. There's quite a few variations of this. But the hard one, I've left it out, but I'm going to go back to it. The hard one was we were moving our hips with our knees. And we were moving our knees side and side, or knees forward and backwards with our knees. Yeah, and when we were doing that, we were letting the hips relax. But the hard one, which is interesting, is to move your hips with your shoulders. And it's to move your shoulders, to move your hips and let your hips relax, but move your shoulders. So I'm thinking of moving my shoulders, and then I'm thinking of relaxing my hips. And it's such a weird, this is not the tough one. This is a warm-up to the tough one. Good. Now the other one was for moving my shoulders and relax my hips. This is the funny one. So I move my shoulders around and I'm letting my hips relax. And notice my hips want to start taking over this exercise. It's actually better today. And go the other way. Move my shoulders around in a circle. Let the hips relax. That's got to be the hardest. My body does not know how to do that. It doesn't know how to let the hips go when I'm doing that, for sure. There you go. Well, wild, isn't it, eh? It's fantastic. Now, but the thing what I notice is just how much free everything feels. And so it's different from doing stretching. When I do the stretching, because I'm stretching my legs and I'm using muscles to stretch muscles. So there's a tension that I'm trying to relax tension with. But when you just do it without any tension and using something, isolate some other part of your body and just let it go and let it flop, the stretch seems to be better and it seems to let the whole joint go so much better. And I start up my own exercise system. I'll patent it. I don't know what we're going to call it. What are we going to call it, Josephine? Relax and release. Something a bit more cliché, bit quirky. We'll come up with some novel. We'll call it Taibo or something. Qigong. I know Taibo exists, but I'm just saying we call it Qigong or something. Chi Relax or something. I don't know. We'll come up with a name, and we'll make a system up, and we'll teach that system. How's that? It's bizarre how cool you feel. The other thing that I notice when you do these exercises is how happy you feel afterwards, and that's the weird thing that happens that was not expected, is that you actually feel happy. Like you feel there's some joy inside your body. I don't know what it is. Every time I finish them, like I feel right now, I'm really happy. There's a joy inside my body, and I don't know whether it's just because it's relaxed, or whether I've taken the tension out. It could be a bit of everything, or just because it's some of them are just really weird and I'm laughing at myself. I don't know, but something happens to the energy in my body that make it light, and it feels quite happy feeling anyway. There's a few schools that do the shakings. It's I think even Manchik Chai does the shakings as well. I think there's a few of them. This one's been around a long time. So and they do it for a long time. So we're going to do it for a while too, just so you get the effect from it. Otherwise, it will be a yeah. If we don't do it very long, it won't have the same effect. So we're going to do it. So some of them I remember. We've talked about the school that does this one, the Shaking Qigong system that does this one. Yep. And it's like that. This one here is fantastic for letting the shoulders relax. And one day we'll do a whole set of that, and maybe on Tuesday or Thursday, I'll do a set of that for 20 minutes or for 15 minutes. And we'll just do it non-stop, and then you see how you feel afterwards. It's bizarre what happens in that exercise. Well, the shaking's the same. Something happens inside the shaking. I know Emmy practices the shaking. Sometimes when she's teaching the 200 hours, she does the shaking method as well. But we're going to do that. So the whole body, it's about that. So it's about letting the whole body go and relax, yeah? Now, because our body's already relaxed, this is going to be way, way easier to do because we've already started it up. Yep. Now, normally it's done with your knees. You're bending your knees, you bend your knees, bend. And so you're relaxing your knees. Yep. There is a way you can do it. We're going to change our focus on it so that we can keep going without stopping. I'll give you different things to think about while we're doing this. Yep. Some people do it slow. They do it like this. So you have the big pulses. Some do it really quickly. So you have the little pulses. And we're going to do it at a certain speed. We're going to do it in the middle between the two of them today. Yep. And so you're feeling the body just bouncing up and down. So you'll notice as we do this, we're going to do this for about 10 minutes. I'll have a look at the clock. We'll do it for 10 minutes. See how we go. It's not easy. 10 minutes might be long. We'll do it for 5. We'll start with 5 and see if we're okay in 5. We'll keep going. We'll do 10. As I say, they do this for half an hour. So it's but you've got to build up to anything when you practice. Good. So to relax your ankles, think if you take your mind into your ankles, because we'd like to take our mind into our body. Yep. Relax your ankles. We're doing this on the kidney points too, by the way. We're not doing it on the heels. The heels are on the ground, so some people don't teach this, but we get to do an extra piece, and we're going to do it on the ball of your feet. So you point the balls, the heels are on the ground, there's weight goes on the heels, but then you're not got any weight. All the balance is on your kidney points. Yeah. Very cool. Josephine, can you give me some more water, please? Josephine, could you give me some more water, please? I've got a frog in my throat this morning. Yeah, so we're focusing on the ankles. Then we go to our knees and relax your knees. Yep. I was talking about one of the weekly classes. It's in the library. Have a look, and it says in the rain. It's got a little brackets, I think, on the lesson in the rain, and it started pouring down. And I don't mean raining like it is now. It's just spitting the moment. It was just raining. I got drenched. It was so funny. It was one of the Qigong exercises. It was I can't remember which one it was. It was either 3 body postures or I can't remember which one it was. I think it was the 3 body postures. But anyway, I was just absolutely drenched. But as long as it stops, otherwise we're going to get wet today too, but it's okay. All our stuff's under a tent, so. Go, so now think of your hips and relax your hips. Just think of your hip joints and just think of the femur joint just relaxing. Relax, and feel it bouncing inside the socket slightly. Think of our hips. So think with our hips. Now we've relaxed our ankles, relaxed our knees. Now we're relaxing our hips here. I think of that idea, bouncing on that. Very good. Good. Now think of your spine, and think of your spine just bouncing up and down. The spine just bouncing like that. Right up to your neck. Remember, standing on your kidney points. Don't, as I say, there's weight on your heels. The weight on your heels increases, but your balance is on your kidney points. So you're standing on your kidney points. Different. Yep. Very good. Now I want you to think of your chest. Now let your chest relax. And for those who use a lymphocyzer, the little small trampoline, very good for your lymph. This is extremely good for your lymph, of course. It's part of what this exercise does without the trampoline. The trampoline has the same function because you're bouncing up and down, and you have this up and down motion, and we'll slowly get to pieces of this. So we're just doing our chest at the moment. So think of the back of your chest as well, so your upper back and your chest in the front. So the whole chest cage is just bouncing up and down. Good. Good. Now once you take your mind into your abdominal region, your organs, and think of your stomach, your spleen, liver. Think of your heart. Your heart will be bouncing up inside your body. Your heart's bouncing up inside with the pericardium hanging onto it. It's sort of bouncing. It's like when you're running. When you run, it does the same thing. It bounces when you run. Think of the large intestine, small intestines bouncing. Everything's in all your internal organs are slowly bouncing up and down. And it's just stimulating energy movement. It's stimulating blood circulation. It's stimulating the qi in the body and qi in the organs moving as well. Very good. Very good. Now think of your shoulders and relax your shoulders. Now your calves are going to get sore doing this, by the way, because we're standing on the ball of our feet. Yep. So it's going to get a little bit sore if you haven't, especially if you haven't done this. And just relax your calves. Think of your calf muscles. Relax your calf muscles. That's it. That's it. So see, it goes away. Good. Now we're back to our shoulders. Just let the shoulder joint. So you feel it bouncing up and down inside the shoulder joint. You can feel it bouncing. Yeah. Good. Take your mind to your elbows. Very cool. So now go to your wrists and think of your wrist. So now you've got your wrists going. Very good. We've done 7 minutes, by the way. Well done. We'll see if we keep going for a bit longer. As I say, your calves, as soon as you think of your calves, if you feel your calves getting sore, just relax your calf muscles. Yeah, well, if you feel any tension in your ankles, relax your ankles. If you feel any tension in your knees, relax your knees. Yeah? Very good. So now think of your legs, think of your hips, knees and your ankles, and relax all three of them at the same time. Hips, knees, ankles. Sorry? Well, they say they're going to be at 10, so they're early, so it's okay. They're half an hour early. Very good. So now think of your head and your spine and your hips. So the three of them, the head, spine, hips, relaxing, all three of them bouncing. So we've got all three arms bouncing, we've got legs bouncing, hips bouncing. Now if you're getting any tension in your thighs, think of relaxing your thigh muscles. Just let the thigh muscles relax. That's it. Good. Very good. We've got about 2 minutes to go, eh? Hang in there. And so we're doing a 10 minutes, but you could probably even warm up doing 2 minutes, but we're going to do a little bit longer than that because we can. Anywhere where there's tension in your body, just relax it. Whether it's ankles, knees, shins, wherever the tension is, just relax. It'll be in your legs probably more than anywhere else. It'll be in one thigh more than the other thigh. It'll be it could be in a knee more than the other knee. Just relax it. Just keep thinking relax, relax, relax. Yeah, 1 minute to go, eh? Good. Now think of the whole body. Think of your head, your spine, your hips, your knees, your ankles, your shoulders, elbows and wrists. The whole lot. So the whole body's relaxed. Just let it flop up and down. Good. 30 seconds to go. Ten seconds. And finish. Now feel what your body feels like. Isn't that a great feeling? If you want to, just move your body slightly and just feel what it feels like. Feel your arms, feel your legs, and just feel the tingling that's going on inside your body. Now move your arms. We're going to do wave hands over the leg. Bring your hands forward and just feel what your arms feel like. And then bring your arms down. Feel what's going on in your legs. Feel the heat inside your legs. Breathing in and then breathing out. Yeah, feel what that feels like. So that's with all the tension gone out of your body. Feel the difference in your shoulders. Feel the difference in your hands. You'll have a lot of heat in your hands. You'll have a lot of heat in your legs. Breathing in, breathing out. Isn't that beautiful, eh? What I want to do is an exercise so where you take one of your legs off the ground. So we'll do the bird flies east and west for summer, for winter. No, the bird flies east and west. West and east for winter. It's out of a long life. So change the weight onto the right leg, yep, and bring both hands up. It's like the, and then bring the hands down. Change weight, bring the hands right up so they touch at the top, and then bring the hands down. Change weight onto the other foot, onto the left foot, comes up, and feel what that leg feels like when you pick it off the ground, and feel how light it is when you put it down. That's it, perfect. Up and down, perfect. Now it's starting to rain a bit more now, isn't it? It's the second rainy day we've had out in the rain. It's okay though. Good thing about here, Bali, it's not cold. It's just wet. Down. Back onto the left foot again. Comes up. Feel that emptiness. The whole body feels empty. Such a beautiful feeling. Can you imagine if you did that for half an hour, how the body would feel? Have you ever had a Xenoxy? A Xenoxy machine is one of those things which you put your ankles on and it rocks from side to side. You put your ankle, you lie flat on the ground, you put your ankles and it rocks backwards and forwards like that. I don't know if you've ever seen one of those. Well, I had one of those. I used to sell them. And after it stops, the whole body feels exactly what it feels like now. The whole body feels empty and tingly. It's a very unique experience. We'll do a couple more. Such a lovely feeling. And the arms just float, the whole body's floating now. It feels beautiful. And it's also having a wash at the same time. And down. And up. And down. Up. And down. One more each side. Up, breathing in as you come up, of course. Breathing out when you go down. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Very good. Bring our feet together. Well done, everybody. A shower and shaking. And enjoy those. Keep practicing those exercises. I'm going to do them as warm-ups for the next little while. As a practice for us, for all of us. So they're very, very cool. And the shaking is a great thing and the body feels really light. The thing with the warm-up exercises is how you feel. You just feel happy after it. It's bizarre. I feel pretty happy after that, the shakings as well. So it's just It's just taking tension out of the body, taking all the stress out of the body, so the body gets light, and it makes you feel light as well. So there you go. Yep. Have a beautiful day, eh? Gong. Thank you for coming to class. And mine, it's good to see you again. Oops. I think there's cherries on there too, so I can just about see the picture. Have a beautiful day, everybody.